There are four statistical biases that we're going to focus on in this class. Using the wrong statistical analysis, having a lack of statistical power, performing multiple comparisons, and subject attrition. A study that lacks statistical power has an increased risk of type 2 error. Generally, a study lacks power if its sample is too small. A crossover design is another way of increasing statistical power. What you want to see in the paper is a description of the power analysis, which shows the researchers knew how many subjects they needed. Recall that a type 2 error occurs when researchers fail to find a statistically significant difference that really exists. So a study that finds statistically significant results doesn't have a concern with a lack of statistical power. There is no general agreement on what constitutes a small sample. In disciplines like epidemiology or psychology that look for tiny differences within the general population, small may mean 100 people. In OT, however, a lot of studies are focused on small populations, like people experiencing homelessness or people with cerebral palsy, that can be difficult to recruit. In these cases, a sample might not be considered small if it has 15 people in it. My rule of thumb when reading the OT literature is to worry about whether a sample is too small if there are less than 10 people in each experimental group and the investigators are making comparisons between groups. For example, a study involving individuals with substance abuse disorders that has 12 people in the intervention group and 11 people in the control group would not be a small sample to me. If the investigators are making comparisons within groups, I start to worry that their sample size is too small if there are less than 8 people in each experimental group. For example, a study that uses a crossover design to compare the effect of two different types of orthoses on performance would not have too small a sample as long as there were at least 8 people in the study.